Okay. Third attempt recording this one. Awesome. Hi. We're a little bit over a week out from our initial impressions of the Xbox One post-conference. There's a lot of animosity on the internet. And then, of course, the talk, console wars, the next generation. Who will win? Who will lose? All right? I'm here to settle that now, before a game is ever released, before E3 ever occurs. I can settle all of the arguments. You want to see how? It's really quite funny. You see, a lot of gamers take issue with the idea that the new consoles, PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, they're going to block used games. Unconfirmed for the PlayStation 4, pretty much confirmed for the Xbox One, let's be honest. The Kinect, privacy issues, always online. Maybe you'll have to pay for PlayStation Network, God forbid. A lot of these issues are major concerns for gamers. And they say, oh, you're treading on me, this is anti-consumer, and I won't even get into all that. I won't even get into why used games are terrible for the industry. I won't get into why always online should not matter for you. Okay? At least I'll try not to. It might come up later. I will get into one simple and easy thing. I know which console wins the console wars. At least in theory. Okay? And why, if you don't already have one, you should go buy a Wii U. Okay? What did Wii U ever do to you to deserve that much hate? What did it ever do to you? Okay? Think about it. Let's start with backwards compatibility. It has been confirmed that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One will both be not in the slightest inkling backwards compatible. But you know what is? The Wii U. Chances are you own a Wii, because everybody and their grandmother, literally their grandmothers, own a Wii. Okay? Chances are you've got a few games. Some of them you probably like, which is why you've kept them around. And you know what? That little box, Wii U, it plays those games. It plays them. All right? They're also rebuilding the virtual console on there. So you've got even more classic titles coming. What will the Xbox One be able to play at launch? I remember what the Xbox 360 could play at launch, and it wasn't very good. Quake 4, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Perfect Dark Zero. Oh man, those are just staples of gaming now. They belong in a museum. They were so great, right? No. Let's look at what the PlayStation 3 had. Lair? Heavenly Sword? Cool. No. Resistance wasn't even that good. And don't even get me started on that, because if you love the color brown and the color gray, you love the first Resistance. It had crap for story and no color. It was like Limbo before Limbo, except you could shoot things, right? Which brings me to the next point. Indie support. Xbox has flat out said, we're kind of done with indie. Guess who's not? Nintendo. They've got a whole indie section on their eShop, and they add every single day. Nintendo embraces the indie developers. They had a hard time in the past, but Nintendo is getting the hang of how this is supposed to work, and you should be understanding this. Maybe you don't want to pay for an online service. Well, the PlayStation is rumored to have a new paid subscription model. Given the popularity of PlayStation Plus, that wouldn't surprise me. Xbox Live is obviously pay to play. You know who you don't have to pay for? Nintendo Network, which is now more streamlined, which now no longer requires those goofy friend codes. It's still a little bit wonky, but you know what they have? The Miiverse. Holy smokes. If you have not been on the Miiverse, it is a magical place where everyone likes each other, where people do awesome drawings, and you can go for help and advice and community on whatever games you are playing right now. If you love social media like Twitter and Facebook, you'll probably get addicted to Miiverse. I'm not a huge one for social media, but I spent like 7 hours on Miiverse one day. It's like a free game. Seriously. Also, the Wii U's gaming experiences are wholly unique. You can't play Nintendo Land on a 360 or a 1 or a PlayStation 3 or a 4. They don't have the capacity to do that. You might say, well, Smart Glass maybe. Well, Smart Glass maybe. But then, if that's the case, you have to have like a tablet just to play. It's an added expense if you don't already have it. The Wii U comes with its tablet in the box. Oh, but then you say, but the PlayStation and Vita. Well, who wants a Vita? Seriously. I have never seen a person playing a Vita. Ever. And I live in a major metropolitan area. I have never once seen a person carrying a Vita, playing a Vita, buying a Vita game at my local GameStop, even on a Tuesday when all the games come out. No one is there buying Vita games. No one. There aren't even that many used Vita games on the shelf because nobody bought them in the first place. Because the Vita is an overexpensive pile of suck right now, and Sony needs to get their act together. So let's go over this again. You want a console that doesn't have to be online? The Wii U. You want a console where you can get an indie game? The Wii U. You want a console where you don't have to pay for internet? The Wii U. You want a console that can play used games? The Wii U. You want a console that's backwards compatible? Damn it, the Wii U. It's so backwards compatible, it uses the old controllers. When I bought my Wii U, I didn't have to buy anything else. And I can play with 5 people. 5 people at no added expense out of box because I had already spent the money on a Wii U. Guess what? Xbox One, it's got a new controller. It doesn't even use your old accessories. Hope you had fun with that Turtle Beach headset because that's probably not going to work anymore. PlayStation 4 is probably going to be the same thing. Why? Because they have a new controller and they have their own setup and they're probably going to require new accessories to boot. Not only can you not play your old games, you can't even use your old equipment. On the Wii U, you can do both. I don't know why we have friend-zoned Nintendo, but we have. Quite frankly, the Wii U is a love letter to gamers as it stands right now. Everyone is whining about always online and blocking you sales, and they're just sitting there ignoring the Wii U. It is that boy that likes a girl, and he gives her flowers, and he rubs her feet, and he does all these nice things, and all the girl wants to do is date some douchey guy from the gym. That's you. You should feel bad because you are now that girl and you have friend-zoned Nintendo by not buying a Wii U. Okay? You have said, thanks Nintendo for giving me everything I asked for. If only I could find a guy that was as great as you. And then you go and you run off to your Xbox and you run off to your PlayStation, who are allegedly anti-consumer. They're not, but that's a discussion for another day. And you're just sitting here ignoring something with great first-party titles. Have you ever played a bad Zelda game? I haven't. You ever played a bad Mario Kart? I haven't. You ever played a bad Metroid? You probably have. But you know what? It wasn't done by Nintendo. It was done by Team Ninja because the Nintendo ones are all good. Damn it. Their games are good. And they're starting to get exclusives based on things that only their console can do. Lego City Undercover? Exclusive. Sonic the Lost World, exclusive. Okay? There's stuff that you can do on that console that you can't do anywhere else. Zombie U, exclusive. You know what's really sweet? And for those of you who actually know me, sorry for this shameless self-plug, okay? If you've got yourself a copy of O&M UK February issue, why don't you flip to the back? All right. How to survive a zombie apocalypse from me. Haha. I'm in it. This thing is awesome. I'm sorry, the Wii U is super cool. I will get one of the other consoles. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just a Wii Uer here. But if you're going to sit there and complain all day long about the state of the console generation, know that there is still one company that has your back. And that is Nintendo. They have had your back, and they will continue to have your back because they understand their consumer. They don't always understand the future trends of the consumer, but they understand that they want to make games for gamers. Now, granted, that means maybe putting aside your first-person shooters and playing a game that's not just pandering to the 14 to 24s, okay? But what it also means is that it's quality. Why don't you read a few interviews from developers who worked with Nintendo before? Why don't you read interviews of the guys that took care of the new Luigi's Mansion game on 3DS? They said that the Nintendo team was so strict about what they put in there. They were so strict on quality control. And you know what? That game turned out terrific. And there's a reason for that. Okay? With Nintendo, I never have to worry. I blindly buy Nintendo games knowing that they are quality. Because they are always quality. And that's something I'm always going to get from them. Not to mention all those other perks that we just talked about. Settling up the console wars right here, right now. Buy a Wii U and buy one of the other two. They're all going to have the same games. It's going to play Blu-ray. So guess what? You're set. You got your Netflix. You got your Call of Duty. And you got your Blu-ray player on one, and then you've got your Wii U. See? See how easy that was? The difference between Halo and Killzone, the difference between Uncharted and, I don't know, some of the exclusives drain away to the fact that 95% of games that come out for a console are multi-platform anyway. So what is even the big deal? Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now, it does look like, yeah, you should buy a PlayStation 4 over an Xbox One, especially since PlayStation 4 has that GDDR5 RAM, and, ooh, that's hard to ignore. But, I mean, your price point is also going to be double what the Wii U is. You can already get the Wii U at a discount. And these consoles are going to launch for $500 a pop. And you're going to have to subscribe to their online. And their games are going to be more expensive. And you can't buy used ones if you're working on a budget. Okay, look, it's all the same. At the end of the day, there is a clear winner for the consumer of games, and that is Nintendo. That is the Wii U. If you want to be one of those people that's waving your little sign around and picketing and boycotting and saying, oh, they're doing wrong by the consumer, guess what? There's still a console you can buy. It's called the Wii U. If you want to finally just shut up and play a game, then it doesn't really matter which one you pick. Okay? I'm very excited for E3. I'm very excited to see what they've got in store on all three consoles fronts. I know I'm going to end up with all the systems. That's just me. My next video is probably going to be a Let's Play of Amnesia. I'm starting to figure this thing out. I got Fraps ready. I'm getting my video editing software set up. So if you like watching a horror fan play a horror game for the first time, if you've seen my horror video, you know, big fan of horror. I will be playing Amnesia. I've only ever played like the first hour, so it will get to me. It should be a lot of fun. And then I will be back for more serious discussion in about 2 weeks when E3 hits, the 11th through the 13th. We'll be there for all the press conferences, watching everything, soaking up every little detail. And we'll talk. We'll talk. But in the meantime, find it in your budget and in your heart to see who's been there all along and get Nintendo out of your friend zone and into your living room, because you should have one. Thanks for watching.